Of course, the other Hoopa was going muscle band, focus band as well, going to give it a little bit of that sustain and be able to chip in and, of course, find its way to its Unite move when that's available. Here we go. Klaus in the top path, Brian supporting Dravix out of the gate.
Yeah, it seems like we have a 2-1-2 scenario to start the game off. It feels like we're returning to launch release meta. 2-1-2 again. I'm sure that'll change quickly, but Zante trying to get up close and personal. The little strawberry doing what they can.
Inferno, unafraid to get down there as an EV, not willing to take any of the buffs in the middle, and just going to get level 4 a little bit further behind than what we traditionally see. Here's a Chelvin fun fact. He is most excited to defeat Enderclap Random Esports. Something that we mentioned before about Chelvin. It remains true today as they're trying to punch their ticket to the finals and go ahead and make that wish a reality.
Exactly. I mean, if there's a dartboard inside Chelvin's room, I guarantee it has Enderclap's Random Esports written on every single spot. There is a huge chip on this player's shoulder. They want to take them down. They want to prove they're the best in EU. And if they can win this game, they'll have another chance to do so.
Well, we've got a 4-on-3 here. 5i trying to get some action over the Bees. We're going to see if they're going to be willing to push. Apprentice backs off a little bit. Poor Inferno, still level 3. We're so used to seeing that Sylveon take up to level 4 so early, and that's something they're certainly hungry for at 8 minutes and 30 seconds in the game.
Absolutely. Sylveon and Espeon, we're talking about Espeon a little bit, have different Swift moves on the Eevee, and Sylveon's Swift is not as strong as Espeon. So if they're playing it in Path, it's going to make it a little bit tougher to get the last hits. And remember, when you're evolving a Pokemon for that last level, you need to secure a last hit on a wild or enemy Pokemon or a score to get that evolution.
Yeah, so I mean, they're eyeing it up. I mean, that's got to be blood in the water if you're Apprentice Unleashed. You're seeing that Eevee just still sitting there. Finally, a Sylveon, of course, as I'm saying that, but going to be a little bit further behind than they would normally. Good pressure by Apprentice Unleashed in the face of 5i. They're all over this goal zone. Good reset here as the 3 players roll back through. They're going to see if they can get some KOs. Inferno forced back. They're still level 4, and they're getting pushed forward. Keep trying to hold it down. Nobody down in terms of player content yet. Oh, big reset. Blinks out all of them. They come back. Just Zervis does. Yes, there was a KO on the Lucario there for Apprentice Unleashed, but that Hoopa reset was just nasty business and saved a whole gamut of players on Apprentice Unleashed.
Yeah, Zervis, the only player able to come back in the first place. Whenever you use a Hoopa portal, you do have a short cooldown where you're not allowed to utilize them again on the return visit for a short amount of time. Everybody else had used the first portal, they couldn't be back for the second one. Right now, Zante on that Serena is at level 7. That Pokemon is scaled up quite a lot already. Serena evolves very early, one of its big strengths, and Zante has already got it to that very nice power spike. So that is what allows these goal sieges to even start happening in the first place, is that strong of a Pokemon.
Well,
Travis, though, got something else to say about it.
Yeah, here comes the Machoke closing down on the Serena there. 2 KOs back the other way for 5i, and we're just going to get some points raining in by Klaus up top as, you know, Apprentice just gently chipping in this Red Maul, going to try and create space with the Water Spout, going to buy some space, but here we go. The War Turtle can use a Water Spout. That's Keep going back the other way. Big Water Spout coming in, or the Egg Bomb's going to come in tandem. They do! Great work by the Blissey and the War Turtle to get that done in the face of 3, and now they're going to push forward. Egg Bomb comes through, and Apprentice Unleashed forced to retreat. Great work down there with minimal investment of personnel by 5i to get that Dreadnought.
Yeah, no kidding. The Egg Bomb, of course, helps in that situation, but Keep is such an incredible Blastoise. They do such a good job of making sure they don't get KO'd in that scenario, even though they're 2v3 and they play just on the edge of safety, but doing so, they're actually able to secure a KO on a Dreadnought. That experience is going to be so important. They were getting out-leveled and outscaled early on in this game, but all that has changed. Now they're caught up and winning in multiple 1v1 matchups.
Great blink by Brian on Dravix there. They come back fully refreshed, ready to go. Who's trying to catch these hands? They activate the Unite move. They dive in. They catch 3 and a bunch of bees, and they're going to try and leverage that and push forward. There's a KO with the in tandem with the Blastoise. Their Klaus going to have to get a berry. Chelvin getting pushed back. That's a big dynamic punch. They're going to chase down Chelvin. They can't quite close it out. Chelvin loops back, and Dravix caught in the slow path here as the Blastoise says, don't worry about it, Chief. I'll handle it with the shell on my back. I'm carrying everybody tonight. KO streak of 2, and that goal zone is gone.
That goal zone's gone, and now this Rotom does pose a slight bigger of a threat to Apprentice Unleashed. At the very least, they would have to commit some Pokemon to be stopping it. However, I would have liked if they held onto that Rotom just a little bit longer and waited until the Dreadnought timer got closer to actually send this down the lane. Now this isn't going to accomplish as much. That being said, Keep Running can get there. Buffs in plenty of time. 30 seconds until the next important objective of Dreadnought.
Absolutely. Just a good little look there. Again, was it perfect? Did it check every box? In my book, it did. I know you saw a little bit of a margin for improvement there, but 5i has to be very happy how that exchange went. They're positioning very well. Brian very far forward, catches out Klaus real quick, and they're setting up for this Dreadnought.
Brian's sticking with this Shadow Ball play. So remember, when a Shadow Ball, it creates those two other little balls that float around the Pokemon they hit. Any boosted auto attack from Hoopa. Unite movement of a champ as they come through the portal. What a cool tech!
Yeah, here Klaus is getting caught. They try to work on Dreadnought for what, a split second? 2 players are down for Apprentice Unleashed. They're on the retreat here as the Blissey's playing far forward. Brian gonna try and bubble out, and here's Inferno. Here's Keith. They're working on Dreadnought. That was the objective the whole time, we said. We took the body. We made you look bad, but here we go. They're working back the other way as Zarina gets into the mix and is immediately on the retreat. They get KO'd by the Blissey. Egg Bomb, good night. And now Apprentice Unleashed went back for a pseudo re-engage just as Zarina gets caught, and they're like, okay, we're gonna hang out. We're gonna hang out for a bit. We're gonna put the brakes on this one.
Absolutely. Okay, another fight does re-engage.
I mean, they reset, they come back through. I didn't think they were going to. Just the absolute chest of this team to push forward into the face of 5i. After that particular exchange, Blastoise going to try and get some points in. That's the Hoopa opening the highway to get more support down here. Klaus picks up the Bliss Assistance. Let's see if they can find some KOs. The Blastoise gets back one the other way, and now they're going to try and get some points in. They need a goals of their own, they say. We're down on points, but not for long. Give us that lead, Apprentice Unleashed.
There we go. Okay, Apprentice Unleashed was a very, very good team fight there. I loved Gecko Kami's use of the Bliss Assistance in that team fight. They waited a very long time, but they knew that 5i utilized a bunch of Unite moves in their own team fight around Dreadnought just a short minute ago. Great knowledge and, Unite move calculating coming out of Gecko Kami to be able to do that. And not to mention, we were talking about split push Blissies already. 31 points goes in from Gecko Kami into a tier 2 goal zone in the bottom path.
Yeah, well, they got sussed out by the Blastoise real quick. The highway is open, and here comes the Hoopa rolling through. That's Brian gonna see if they can give support. Inferno just gonna make it down because the bees are here. That's experience we want. Gek just still on the retreat. Blastoise doing a water spin, rapid spout. Wow. Rapid spin, water spout action to get some bees there. There's 2 minutes, 38 seconds on the clock, and these teams are moving.
Yeah, no kidding. Spout rapid water pit spin is personally my favorite. All right, Inferno getting up to that level 12. Level 12, a very large power spike for most of the special attackers in the game. Zante getting a nice escape. Great reset by Zervs. These two Hoopas have been playing phenomenally. I loved Brian and Dravix's combo around that second Dreadnought. Threw the hoops up down into a bush. Said aim for the bushes. Dravix agreed. Fist bumped and utilized the Unite move and ran all the way through.
Yeah, got a couple KOs for their hard work too. There you go. The Rapid Spin's coming a little late. The Egg Bomb gonna seal it up, as we've seen time and time again. Good work by 5i, and we can see these teams literally running in parallel, like train tracks running to that central air for the Zapdos. Are they gonna jump right on it, or are they gonna wait for a moment? As this arena looks like they're up top trying to get some points in, just hanging out.
Yeah, Apprentice Unleashed, obviously they need to buy time for some kind of level scaling. Serena only level 11. Right now they're doing a decent amount of damage to each other, but this is great time being bought for Apprentice Unleashed. Definitely the call was we gotta stall because we need Klaus to hit that level 13. They finally do. Keeps at 14 though, and they've started the Zapdos. If they want to rip this thing, they have the damage to do it quickly, but Inferno just playing a little more defensively.
Here we go. Brian is unbound. They're gonna pull the team through. We're gonna see if we can find some bodies here. Blastoise just kind of flashes in, uses their Unite move, catches a bunch. That's a Unite move back the other way by 5i, and that Rapid Spin's catching a bunch because they got the Bliss Assist. That damage is good. Chelvin has a Bliss Assist as well. They're not going down too easy. They're trying to hunt down the Blissey here as there's 2 players down. That's Lucario, the Serena. They went down so early. Gecko Kami's on the chopping block for Dravix. He's like, I do karate classes, breaking through blocks. No, Blissey gets out, but that Zapdos is wide open. Can Chelvin make a hero play? They get sussed out by the Hyper Voice, and the Blissey egg bombs him to dust, and now 5i takes the Zapdos with no problems. Those goal zones are unlocked. Duck it time. Burgers on the menu tonight.
Oh, and Serena tried to use the Unite move to stop one of them, but of course Safeguard is going to shut that down very quickly with an unstoppable. 5i with a very, very long teamfight win, but they played it exceptionally well. Every single time Apprentice Unleashed would come in one by one. I don't know how Chelvin got to the other side of the Zapdos pit and came through that corridor, but they did go on that long flank. Unfortunately, not paying off. Great spot by the rest of the team. They shut them down, and the only player that had a chance of stealing Zapdos was maybe Zante, but Serena, not a fantastic Pokemon to steal a last hit like that. 5i goes up 1-0 in our losers finals.
Yeah, and just a great show by them. They had the great battle in the top path, took the Dreadnought, got a good team fight there. Apprentice Unleashed used that momentum, rallied back the other way. But the big thing to me in that final fight, Zoinks, was everybody seemed to be trying to bait out the early Unite move to kind of make it wonky and not as coalesce with the rest of the team. Neither team bit, which led to that prolonged team fight, and 5i with the level advantage came out ahead.
5i is proving, though, that they are at the top of the pack with the best of the best.
That's right. I'm going to look for Klaus. I'm going to look for Chelvin for some hard carries here for if I'm an Apprentice Unleashed. You know, get on the same page, and of course, leverage your amazing players like Gek. Find Zante the opportunities with that Zarina here, as Inferno's pushing down forward in that bottom path early with the Dr. Rampa going along with. Oh, Dravik's kind of getting caught out, forced on the retreat here. Brian said, I got you, pal. There's a berry. Good odds on that being a healing one as they pull it through, and it totally pans out.
Brian and Dravix are playing like they had sleepovers every single weekend when they were growing up. Like, these two players are so in tandem. They're locked in. I love watching this. Also, we also got a little bit of a clue as to why Gecko Kami's leveling's been a little bit slow in this tournament so far. Zante is immediately going for the enemy goal zone to get those attack weight scores in. Gek knows that they can't contest that top middle autono at the start of the game. They just don't have the secure potential, despite being blissy, to out-secure two enemy Pokemon. So they opt into getting other wild Pokemon, a little bit slower of an experience curve at the start of this game, but they do want to get up to that big potential and make sure Serena is able to do lots of damage.
Kind of felt like Klaus and Chelvin got the lion's share of those bees there in the top path, and 5i just working around, just going to find an opportunity here, see if they can score. Dravik's getting their points on the back end. They're going to try and catch this portal. Can they make it? Blink. Yep, they did. They did. Are they coming back through? That's the real question. Yes, there we go. Although the Hyper Voice kind of catching Klaus out too as well, as Chelvin and Zervis are moving very well in tandem, and they're going to try and catch Inferno. Goodbye. That's a great KO for Chelvin as they're pushing forward. I wanted to carry. They're starting to find it. Zervis on the getting one too. And now it's just Dravik's trying to hold it down in the goal zone. Those points are kind of going in. This Chelvin has the gap open. Now there's a big engage there by Dravik. And now Keep's here to try and help them out. They're going to blink out safely, of course, as here comes Inferno. Hyper voicing already over the gap. And Hoopa gets a KO back on Klaus. That's a good look for 5i as they're willing to make a push of their own. They're trying to find who's the next one in the chopping block. And they're going to eye up this goal zone. Can they engage? They're watching the HP. Zervis is so close to going down. Two players blink out. That's Brian and Dravik's coming back through. Forging the friendship through the fires of those portals here all over this goal zone as Keep is reigning in points, and we still haven't found a KO. Finally, they go down. The War Turtle does for 5i. Finally, but that is all the players that go down here in this ridiculous exchange.
5i with an absolutely incredible escape. I thought it was curtains when Zante showed up. That stomp doing AoE damage to all of those tightly grouped up Pokemon that 5i were setting up. I thought it was over. But no, Dravik's able to secure a great KO into the War Turtle of Chelvin. Chelvin sent all the way back. They wanted to get back into their central area anyways. They got the hyper speed there now.
Yeah, I mean, those warp point highways are up, and those teams are coalescing downstairs because Dreadnought has arrived. We're going to see how they engage. Klaus kind of dragging Dreadnought over to their side a little bit, trying to give their team a little engage advantage here. But here comes 5i. They're moving all five together here. They're going to go in for the engage. They're going for the bodies here. Zante's deep in there. Going to see if they can get the KOs. That's a Blissey back on Dravix. That's huge. A big reset by Zante. They're getting back into the action. Two players down for 5i. This is all Apprentice Unleashed right now. Keep trying to do work, but they are kissed goodnight by the Blissey gently on the forehead. Good day, as Apprentice Unleashed is going to get this Dreadnought in clean fashion, and what a showdown in the bottom path on the beach.
Dreadnought looking like a Goomba in that situation. Zante getting a double stack. Ooh, a nice Bliss Assist is going to send Klaus all the way in. They get really deep, but just barely. They run out of extreme speeds at the worst possible moment, not able to close the gap on Brian. And guess who's there to defend Brian in their moment of need? Of course, it's Dravix, who leaps out of a bush to help defend and makes Klaus have to retreat all the way.
That's a big Blastoise. Keep happy to hit that level 9 as well. But you're talking about that engage downstairs real quick on the beach.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a really, really nice push there. I loved it. And Serena is popping off right now. Great play by Zante. We're finally seeing the value of this composition. With all these grouped up team fight situations, Zante is eating good with these stomps, hitting 2-3 Pokemon at a time. Not only does it do great damage, it also applies self-healing to Serena, allowing them to stay in the fight just a little bit longer.
Just great work. Dravik's going to get some points, going to get their attack weight up, down in the bottom path here, as Apprentice Unleashed going to get this Rotom for the low price of free. As 5i is just hanging out, they're going to try and catch that thing. That just an underhand shot from this Rotom. They're going to try and catch it with ease here as an egg being tossed in their direction.
Exactly. Shelvin rushing back now is still being out-leveled by Keep Running. So Keep Running, amazing Blastoise player. They're definitely shoveling a lot of experience in their direction. Shelvin has got to do some KOing of wild Pokemon to try to catch up. They're going to keep parity no matter what. I mean, they have the Dreadnought on their side, so experience definitely going their way. Though I think the big important leverage point here, though, is Apprentice Unleashed has a 100-point lead and 2 goal zones broken. This second Dreadnought is going to be very, very tough for 5i to win, since they don't have that goal zone in that situation. That being said, Brian is posturing to use their Unite move. I think we're going to see both Hoopas do so, but it's allowing Zante to go get some extra wild Pokemon experience before we even start this fight.
Yeah, Zante going to get some quick points in before they jump down and get into the mix right away. Though it's a well-placed portal, getting them out of the action. That Dreadnought is just absolutely dusted. The Blitzy takes it. Unite move from Keith coming through, and that's just a Unite move back the other way by Chelver. We're going to see who they can catch as that's Dr. Ampa going through, and the only players down is Dravix, as what was just absolute mayhem down here. Inferno getting caught with the Rapid Spin Water Spout. They're on the backside of nowhere. They get KO'd, and here comes Zante getting pulled through, getting a KO streak of 2, just slightly off screen as the Hoopa gets one as well. And what a show by Apprentice, who woke up this team. They finally decided to play. This is looking good.
I know, Apprentice is definitely now unleashed. Huge plays in that team fight. I love seeing that. I think the KO on the Dreadnought, by the way, I think was Gecko Kami's Bliss Assistance running through the Dreadnought. I can't confirm that. It was tough to see. Hoopa makes a lot of stuff on the screen. But that being said, great play no matter what from Gek to take that and try to get that 14-point score stop. Unfortunately, not quite in time with their Egg Bomb.
Brian just getting blinked out of existence just in time by their own portal. I don't see them coming back through. Are they? No. They're going to roll up top, get this to support theirs. Dr. Ampa's on the backside working through it. And here's Zante as well. I mean, just this is the night and day to this arena we've seen in the games past.
Absolutely. It seems like every other game that Zante was playing in, they weren't able to get up to the levels they needed to in time. But that has changed a lot in this game. Gecko Kami also out-leveling Dr. Ampa by 2 whole levels. This bottom path is a completely different story than game 1.
Like you mentioned, those goal zones are still up, the furthest goal zones out, and the fact that this point disparity is only 100 is actually something that 5i should kind of keep in the back of their mind. That's a good sign. They're going to get good overcaps if they take Zapdos in those furthest out goal zones here. But there's still some objectives to be taken. That Dreadnought can go to 5i's way if they get there early enough.
Yep, it seems like they're going for it too. On the minimap, we see 3 players rotating down towards Dravix and Keep Running, instead opting into knocking out some wild Pokemon. That experience is going to be very, very important in a late game team fight. Remember, Apprentice Unleashed's team composition wants to fight. Lucario and Serena, they want to take these one-on-ones or big group team fights.
They're playing very far forward as Gek. They're going to try and save it here, but Hoopa takes it with just that last auto shot there. And now they're going to roll up because it's Zapdos time. As the fight can engage early, we're looking because Apprentice Unleashed has the impetus here to engage. That's the Hoopa unbound, forced out by Klaus, and now they're going to put the chase down. Are they going to reset? They do, but the action's back the other way here. As that Zante's so low, they use the Unite move to stay up. They get a big K on the Sylveon Unite move by the Blastoise after they pick up the Blitz Assistance. Zervis is getting chased out by Dravix, getting caught by the punches a little bit. 2 players down for Apprentice, only 1 for 5i, but they're finding the bodies now as Zante gets a KO streak of 2 after a great reset. Zante just still staying up. Dravix finally shuts the door on them, but that gives Apprentice Unleashes Blissey enough time to come back, and this battle's gonna reset here with way less Unite moves.
Is the amount of time that Zante bought, is it going to be enough? Right now we have Gecko Kami running up to stop Dravix's score. They're able to do so with a nice Egg Bomb. The fight is posturing again, but Zante still has a 10-second respawn cooldown.
Keep has half HP. That's Unite move back the other way. That catches a couple players. That's going to be huge. Is the damage going to come through? Blitz Assist on Klaus. Blissey gets a KO on Sylveon. We're moving through 3 players down for 5i, and Apprentice Unleashed takes it with the full team wipe. Absolutely nasty business in the Zapdos pit today on AO Silent.
Incredible team fight. I can't believe Gecko Kami still had Bliss Assistance available to them. There was 2 KOs. They must have happened immediately, but the fact that they held on to it was so important to secure that Zapdos hit. But I mean, are you kidding me? The MVP of that team fight is clear as day. It is the queenly majesty herself of Serena. Zante stayed up for so long. The amount of time that they bought meant that everyone from Apprentice Unleashed was back in time, and they took another team fight. Shelvin dropped an amazing Hydro Typhoon, and now they're up 730 to 108. This one's done and dusted. We're tied up 1-1 in the losers finals.
Oh yeah, we call this garbage time, baby, because if everybody on 5i has full pockets, full hearts, and a full commitment to scoring, they're still going to be losing by a couple hundred. So that's 5i, you know, not the sesh they wanted, but man, I'm glad Zante just using the Unite move, because why not? Just getting one about the other way. Hey, it's fair game here. But Apprentice Unleashed, I'll tell you what, you said Zante, and I'm happy that Zarina turned out here, because that looked good, and I was waiting for the moment to see why they kept going back to this well. And man, that was a statement for sure. Just absolutely meticulous with the spacing on the Sylveon, really showing what it can do and what doors it can unlock. I want to see Inferno just catch a little sniff of that and start seeing it here, especially in Game 3.
All right, nice adaptation. This time, Gek trying to contest into that top one. Dr. Ampa takes it instead. So Dr. Ampa saying, nope, back. You got to retake your thesis. I've already won.
A good Hollowware, though, we got to mention on Inferno for 5i.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, Inferno looking good all the time. No matter what Pokemon they're playing, they're always dressed to the nines in terms of Hollowware. Another adaptation by Apprentice Unleashed in this game, they actually committed service to the top path to start the game. So knowing that the side of 5i is going to be doing so, not to mention keep running, already hitting that War Turtle, just barely ahead of Shelvin, is also going to be headed to that top path. And I'm looking at the minimap, and I'm also watching Eevee run up that way. We're about to see 4 Pokemon at first Bs in top.
Well, you know, if you're gonna go in all the way, as 5i just has that poor Lone Blissey hanging out downstairs, and that Hyper Voice just so good at securing those Bs in the middle and getting that experience into the direction of your own squad. Of course, you know, it would be nice to pick and choose which Pokemon get the experience, but if you have to choose between the opposing team and yours, you're gonna choose your team every single time, Zoinks.
Yes. I really think that this 4 Pokemon committed to top path is honestly just a hard counter to say we are not letting Klaus get 5. Or at the very least, we are making it so that they don't hit it, or just as late as possible. If Klaus doesn't have 5, they can't rush through our entire team. If they can't rush through our entire team, we can breathe a little easier. And so I think 5i makes a nice rotation. They stop them. Of course, they're finally going to hit that level, but it was a little bit slower, and 5i got a little bit more Bs, and look, that goal zone is not sieged as much by Apprentice here.
Yeah, no, great defensive stand, clearly part of their strategy, and executed pretty well. Klaus coming back through that healing blink there through the portal and was able to run back. They get caught by a good chunk of Hyper Voice. Klaus diving in right at the end of the Hyper Voice, but that thing resets quickly. That's a double stomp right in the goal zone. They're going to use that to push forward. KO on Dravix here, and that's the momentum they might need as Apprentice Unleashed gets points in. Is this where they're going to go? Can we get a reset on the Blissey? We do. KO streak of 2. Everybody's catching the boots today in the top path from the Serena, just stepping over him. Hoopa finally takes care of Lucario, but the Hoopa back in it as well. What a look. And you talking about playing defense on that sieging goal zone. Holy smokes. You can't let Zante have another one. Level 8. Level 8 Zoinks. Are you kidding me? Zante's still doing work, all stacked up, ready to go. All the Bs. Give them everything.
Why are you going back up there? I mean, you're not even enemy Pokemon at that point. You're just a trampoline. Zante has got the hops, and they are putting it to the other squad. Dreadnought's coming up in 2 seconds, and Zante is a level 9 Serena. 9 Serena, Doob Snacks.
I mean, you said it before, but Zante about to treat this other squad like Goombas. Everybody's catching the stomps today. Bang, bang. Brian already down to a 3rd HP. Can they reset themselves? Nope. War Turtle gets the KO on the Hoopa. They're coming back through. Apprentice Unleashed looking real mean. And that's on the back of this Zante. It is a sunny day. Oh, was that an A-bomb steal? The Doc gets it done. Dravix eating the receipt of a mad Zante now as the chase is on. And just another one. It's a sunny day on Eos Island, and Zante, you know, drink it in.
Absolutely. So that is one thing we have to point out, though. Apprentice Unleashed, Zante is scaling to the moon, right? Almost level 10 already. They're going to take over in just a moment. That Dreadnought going over to 5i, though, so important. They are now out-leveling in almost every other matchup other than, of course, the attacker role. But other than that, they are doing extremely well. That Dreadnought, it put 5i back in this game, and some would even say it almost put them in the lead, Dupes and Axe.
Yeah, that's fair to say, especially if Apprentice Unleashed is going to send their strongest Pokemon to just deal with Rotom by themselves and not really engage anywhere. Of course, I say that. Zante finding a Sylveon in the middle. We're going to see what they can do there as the rest of 5i is just working through Rotom.
Yeah, definitely. Zante getting these bees in short order. Serena, a great Pokemon. Pretty much every all-arounder. Very, very strong at clearing wild Pokemon objectives. That's a Blastoise who I'm pretty confident did not see the Serena.
Oh no, but Dravix is going to suss it as they run through. Double stomps there. Brian working in tandem with Dravix. Is Dravix going to catch the reset? Big rapid spin on Zante. Zante getting mowed down really quickly. Catch a little Shadow Ball action as Chelvin was trying to go in for the save. And here we go. Dravix with full engage. Big Unite on Chelvin, and that's a huge KO. Catching the hands, but look at Zante's HP. Fully reset, baby. Of course. Bring me back into the action. Big rapid spin coming out. We're going to need to blink out. That's a KO on the Blastoise before they can reset. That's huge. And now Zante's hungry for more. They're chasing Dravix. They're gliding in and finally says, all right, Fish, I'll let you off the hook.
Okay, so in the pre-roll before we started this game, I shouted out Sylveon as one of the only Pokemon that can 1v1 Blastoise. Let's add another one, Dupe Snacks. Let's throw Serena up there, because a level 11 Serena is absolutely doing work. Of course, they have Zervis, an exceptional Hoopa player, helping him out, and Klaus has found Brian undetected.
Yeah, Brian forced out the Unite move, and they're going to pull through. Everybody's unbound, everybody's coming through. That's a Unite move by the Blastoise, come back through. Klaus picks up the Bliss Resistance against Hoopa, gets KO on Machamp, but Klaus is going to try and E-speed through. Can they find Brian? Brian's pushing far forward here, and there's two players down for 5i. As the arena's starting to chalk them up on the bodies down here on the beach, and they're moving through. That's a big KO on the Blastoise by them. Apprentice Unleashed taking the Dreadnought here. It should have been their second, they believe, but just their first of this game, as they're just going to rain in points, and that's a big overdunk of quite a I can't even do the math. I think it was at 54-31. That's 24, 28, 26 point over cap, I think.
Okay, well, remember, numbers don't matter, it's teamwork. So yeah, fantastic job there from Apprentice Unleashed. Amazing team fight. It was a really phenomenal play there. I mean, but the best part about it was, of course, Klaus's very early rotation to that bottom path. They got in that bush, completely hidden. The Hoopa had no idea that Lucario was hidden away there. They go to try to put a very aggressive Hoops Unbound portal to block off the enemy team from getting in there. And unfortunately, instead, they find a Lucario.
Huge engagement. The Machamp using the Unite move to get in deep and some good Unite move penetration, but only caught one player. Unite move by Keep on the goal zone, chips up 3. That's a lot of damage sitting on Apprentice Unleashed. Are they going to be able to get KO'd here? As look how far up Klaus is, forcing the team back the other way. They get KO'd for that, but there's 2 players down for 5i. What a recovery by Apprentice Unleashed. All the Unite moves getting thrown to their face. They withstand the storm, get some KOs back the other way, and now they're going to be able to surround Rotom.
Their HP's pretty low though here. They might need to reset on the back of Zervis, but they're able to secure it before. I was thinking if 5i chose to re-engage that, they may have a good chance of hitting that Rotom, but you have to remember that Rotom's only going into the first tier goal zone, so not a phenomenal amount of value anyways, even if 5i wanted to commit to it. Not worth the risk. Very good macro gameplay from 5i. They're only down about 100 points, just over, but another Dreadnought is going to be coming up in about 20 seconds. They're going to have 20 seconds of availability to knock this Pokemon out, and whoever gets this will have a very, very important experience lead, not to mention shields, headed into the final stretch.
Yeah, Dr. Ampin down here in the Dreadnought. They're going to see if any team wants to contest this thing. Zerva's playing pretty far forward. That little experience shell light bulb getting a good idea as they're going to chip back and forth. And I think somebody with a little bit more firepower is going to have to get in there. And it looks like 5i is fully committed. Enough for Apprentice Unleashed to back off here. And I'm looking for Gek and Zante to reset a little bit, get some heals, because Gek was pretty low on HP, but they're scrambling to the middle of the Zapdos pit.
All positioning given over to Apprentice Unleashed right now. 5i making their way up into the Zapdos pit via that bottom corridor, and now they have good presence as well. Blastoise keep running though, is going to be caught alone versus a Serena in that top path situation. They are pushing them all the way back. Now Blastoise has to retreat and get some healing. That's one Pokemon taken out of the scenario.
Big Egg Bomb finding Dravix. They're going to move forward. Dravix engages a little bit, gets a good chunk of damage on Gek as that portal's there. Is anybody going to reset through it? No. That's just to buy some spacing. Neither 5i or Apprentice looking to go, and look where the Blastoise is. They're just slowly, Keep is just slowly getting their experience up, just slowly filling her pockets, trying to come back a little bit, ready for more action. As, oh, there we go. Klaus is getting in the middle. The Unite move comes through. Brian gets the call from Keep, says, pull me in. I'm ready to go. Unite move on the nose comes through. Keep uses them back the other way. Who's going to pick up the Bliss Assistance? One player down. That's the Hoopa big time. 2 players down for 5i as Apprentice Unleashed looks real good. Chelvin, so much HP. Had that Bliss Assistance. That Hyper Voice, though, finds a KO on Lucario. We're pushing back through that Rapid Spin, trying to hunt him down. Gecko Kami getting covered like a Super Soaker here. As Keep's trying to find the next one. They're eating a Hyper Voice, Celine Dion style, and that's a big reset, but nobody's touched this Zapdos. All these players are coming back in. Gecko Kami so low. Chelvin, have you even been touched? That shell is unscathed.
That fight was completely over unless Inferno was able to get so much damage like they did. That Hyper Voice got everybody so low. Brian can't get to the portal to reset. No, they do. Oh my gosh, they both do on a sliver of HP, and they're already back in the team fight.
Yeah, they're trying to find Chelvin. They're trying to hunt them down, make sure they can take them down. As Brian's so low, they get taken out by the Blissey. There's 2 players down for 5, but only 1 for Apprentice Unleashed. They're moving forward. Keeps the next one they're targeting down. The Hyper Voice is so spaced out and so far away, they can't find anyone. Here it is. It's finding Get Goodbye. Zanti getting low, but those stomps are going to help them out. As this Zapdos is on the edge, everybody's flipping their attention. The Hyper Voice comes through, and Apprentice Unleashed takes the Zapdos. And now Klaus and Zanti are going to try and convert. Can they get any points in? Can they get any points in? Oh, no. Nobody gets any points. I don't even remember the score before the team fight started, Zoinks.
I don't know if they did. This is a very important scoreline, but there we go. Apprentice Unleashed takes it. Oh my word, what a phenomenal team fight.